The judge overseeing the trial that Donald Trump is now facing in about 30 days from New York Attorney General Letitia James ruled this week that the banks and insurance companies, kind of at the center of the entire scandal, they can't keep their documents hidden from the public. We had multiple banks and insurance companies, including the Zurich American Insurance Company, WSFS Bank, Ladder Capital, and several others, file a motion about a month ago asking Judge Arthur Engoron, please seal all the records of our involvement in, the scandal that Trump is being sued for $250 million. Like, don't, let everybody see what we did as part of this lawsuit. And of course, Letitia James had filed her motion saying they've provided no reason why any of this should be under seal. She said, obviously this is a very important case. The public deserves complete transparency. And if they can't give a solid reason why we can't see these records in the public, then you have no choice but to not grant their motion. And Judge Engoron agreed. Said, listen, I'll protect names and addresses, I'm not going to give out phone numbers. You can redact that info. But the rest of this, how Donald Trump overinflated his assets to secure loans, how he underinflated assets, to get these better insurance deals, that's relevant to the case. It's relevant to the public, considering who the defendant is. And I'm not going to seal it. Now, obviously, these banks, these insurance companies are not worried about any kind of criminal charges on their part, right? And let's not forget, this is not a criminal case. This is a civil case. They're only seeking money from Trump and his kids, not prison sentences. But the reason that these companies do not want these records revealed is because it's going to hurt them with their reputation. I mean, obviously, they didn't do anything wrong. They can only go off what information is given to them. However, what we're likely going to see from these documents once they are made public is that these companies did not, in fact, do their due diligence. Now, there absolutely could be some evidence of potentially criminal activity in there. If you had higher ups at the banks or the insurance companies telling the lower level workers like, hey, don't look into this too much. We know it's probably wrong, but do it anyway. Then you absolutely could be looking at some criminal activity, which I imagine if that were the case, Letitia James would have already filed charges against these people. She hasn't, so it's a pretty good indicator that there's not any kind of malicious behavior there. But there absolutely could be negligent behavior. And that negligent behavior is going to hurt the reputations of these organizations, right? Who wants to go to an insurance company that doesn't bother to verify information? Who wants to take money from a bank that isn't doing their due diligence to see if people actually have the money that they claim to be having? So that's why these companies are fighting so desperately to hide their information, but they're not going to be able to hide it. And for her part, I will say Letitia James' argument is brilliant, right? This is obviously a high-profile case, maybe not as big as the criminal trials, probably one that most people forgot about. But again, this is coming up in like 32, 33 days now. This will be the first one. And if Trump gets popped for fraud, even in a civil case, that is significantly going to hurt him in this presidential run. Maybe not in Republican polls, but in those nationwide polls where it does appear that he is catching up to Biden, getting hit for $250 million for pulling off a massive fraud scheme, that's not going to attract you any new voters. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.